Welcome to the Chief's Pour. Buckle up and get ready for the ride.
I'm Big Chief, host of the Whiskey Trip, and this is something new. One bottle, one glass, my take. We're going to learn a little bit about a brand, break down what's in the bottle, nose it, taste it, talk about the finish, and then I'm going to give you the Chief's score. And because this is the very first episode, we're going to finish things off with a giveaway. What else would you expect? So stick around until the end. For our very first Chief's Pour, we're staying right here in Texas with a bottle of recently acquired bourbon I've gotten from Unreined whiskey. This right here is their Wheated Bourbon. Very beautiful bottle. Simplistic label. Lots of detail on the label itself. I really appreciate. This is Unreined 7-year Wheated Bourbon. Like I said, I poured some in my glass right here and let it air out why I tell you about the brand. Now, Unreined calls College Station, Texas home, and they're relatively new name in the whiskey world. But what's interesting about their approach is a relationship between Kentucky whiskey tradition and Texas maturation and blending. They're working with whiskey from multiple sources and bringing those barrels together to create something that represents their own flavor profile. You'll hear the phrase born in Kentucky, raised in Texas. And that gives you a pretty good idea what their approach is to whiskey. Their home is at Wild Horse Ranch, just south of College Station. Miss Viv and I had a chance to go out there for the grand opening. A beautiful Kentucky style rick house with a tasting room, a nice sitting room upstairs, a speakeasy, and then there are buffalo and cattle roaming the pastures around the rick house. Absolutely stunning. They did a great job of making the place a destination and a brand built around whiskey. But there's something we're going to hear me say on the Chief's Pour. A great story can get me interested in a bottle, but the whiskey still has to deliver. I've said that over and over throughout the years. So let's get into it. What's in the bottle? This is the Unreined 7-year Wheated Bourbon. It's a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys distilled in Kentucky and Texas. It's bottled at 104.2 proof, 52.1% alcohol by volume, and it's non-chill filtered. And we've got 2 wheated mash bills represented in this blend. I absolutely love that. The first is a Kentucky 70% corn, 21% wheat, and 9% malted barley. The second is a Texas 74% corn, 14% wheat, and 12% malted barley. So think about the blender and what they're working with here. 2 different mash bills, whiskeys from Kentucky and Texas, 7 years of maturation. And all those components have to come together and taste like one intentional whiskey. That's what I'm interested in finding out. But first, since this is our first episode, let me explain to you about the Chief's score and how it works. So how I'm going to score everything. Every whiskey on the Chief's Pour has the opportunity to earn 100 points. And I'm breaking down those 100 points into 4 categories. The nose will get 25 points. I'm looking for aroma, complexity, and development. Does it have depth? Do these aromas work together? And most importantly, does it make me want to keep going back to that glass? The palate's worth 35 points. Because we can talk about mash bills, barrels, age statements all day long, but eventually we've got to drink that whiskey, right? I'm looking at flavor, complexity, balance, mouthfeel, and how well the proof carries everything across the palate. And then we got the finish. The finish is worth another 25 points. How long does it hang around? Does it evolve after the swallow? Does it fade too quickly or build into something memorable? Does it turn bitter and overly oaky, or does it make me immediately ask for another sip? Overall experience will be another, and value will be another 15 points. This is where I consider the entire bottle. Did it deliver on what was promised? Is it memorable? Does the whiskey justify the price? And here's the big question. When the bottle is empty, would I spend my own money to replace it? Add off 4 categories together, and you've got the Chiefs score out of 100. Now, you know the rules. Let's get into the glass. We'll go ahead and take a nose it. Right away, I'm getting a burst of cherry cola and dark fruit with figs and raisins. There's a warm layer of cinnamon and baking spices on it. Just underneath that cherry cola and those figs. As it opens up, I find some vanilla bean, a light caramel, and a touch of honeysuckle sweetness that I'm always talking about. You got to have walked down a country road to understand that. Now, as it deepens, the cherry cola note will shift something like dark cherry syrup or stewed fruits. There's a little bit of tobacco leaf on there, a little bit of toasted oak character that's starting to show itself. At 104.2 proof, the alcohol is present but beautifully controlled, and it lifts the aroma without overpowering it. This is a nose that keeps evolving over a longer. You set with it, it just keeps giving and giving. For the nose, I'm giving Unreined a 23 out of 25. Now let's taste it. Let's remember there's 35 points available here. Wow. At first impressive is a wave of sweet corn syrup and warm waffle batter. Amelia transitions into molasses and brown sugar richness. That mid palate brings a really interesting cherry Twizzlers and cinnamon spice gum to it. I really like that. And then when it settles into something deeper, oak, vanilla, and soft toffee sweetness, this is really opening it up. That wheat influence is doing exactly what it should here. It's not just making this sweet, it's rounding it out, softening the edges and letting those dessert-like notes come forward in a really elegant way. These two mash bills are really working together. You get layers of sweetness that feel both familiar and slightly complex at the same time. I got a little bit of spice right there that caught me. Now the structure really is showing up here. The molasses and oak start to carry more weight, and that cherry note lingers with a candy glaze over the top. At 104.2 proof, that's real backbone here, but it never really feels aggressive. The question always is, does the proof elevate the whiskey or overwhelm it? Here, it absolutely elevates it. For the palate, I give it a 32 out of 35. Now let's go ahead and get to the finish. The finish opens up with dried cherry and fig. I transition to dried dates and soft baking spices. And it slowly fades into oak, vanilla, and gentle warmth that lingers just long enough to remind you it's there. This is a medium to long finish to me. It leans toward elegance and intensity. I think at that 104.2 proof, I'm really enjoying this. What stands out most is how the fruit evolves from fresh sweetness on the palate to, on the backside, dried fruit complexity on the exit. And here's the real test. Does it make me want another sip? That's without question. I had to have another sip of it. So the finish, I got a 23 out of 25. Now, overall experience and value, 15 points available. We've got a 7-year-old wheated bourbon here, 2 mash bills, Kentucky and Texas, both influencing this whiskey, non-chill filtered, bottled at 104.2 proof. On paper, There's a lot to like, but what matters is what's in the glass. At the price of $62, this is a bottle I'd absolutely revisit. It delivers balance, depth, and drinkability in a way that makes it an easy return pour. You know, when the bottle is empty, I, I would replace it. So I'd give this a 15 out of a 15, people. Really great whiskey right here from Unreined. When we first drank this at the distillery, both me and Miss Viv were totally shocked. She smashed hers down, was looking for another glass, and I appreciated that out of her. What a whiskey. We got super excited about this, and Evan, their blender there, man, hats off to you. So on the nose, we got 23 out of 25 points. On the palate, we got a 32 out of 35. And then on the finish, we got a 23 out of 25. And then overall experience and value is 15 out of 15. That gives the Unreined 7-year Wheated Bourbon an official Chiefs score of 93 out of 100. I wanted to let that set in with you. This is my very first scoring of a whiskey in a long time. I usually don't do reviews, but I feel like this is something I wanted to do. For me, that means it's highly recommended pour. Would I buy another bottle? Absolutely. Would I recommend you try it without hesitation? But remember, your palate is your palate. A score can tell you what I think about a whiskey. It can't tell you what you're going to taste. Drink what you like. Drink it how you like it, whether you like it over ice, with some water, or just neat like I'm sipping on it. Don't ever let anybody tell you what you should be buying or what you should enjoy. You need to sample whiskeys and figure out what your standard is and what you love. I hope this review helped you, though. Now let's get to Chiefs Pour giveaway. I told you to stick around to the end, and we're not ending the first Chiefs Pour empty-handed. Celebrate the new series. We're going to give one of you a bottle of Unreined Wheated Bourbon. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in one of the Whiskey Trip rock glasses. Now, how do you enter? Ooh, got another little bite right there. You got to subscribe to the Whiskey Trip on YouTube, comment on this video, and tell me what's your favorite wheated mash bill and why you like wheated bourbon. Then head over to Instagram and follow the Whiskey Trip and follow Unreined Whiskey. That's it. You must be 21 years of age, reside in the United States, and I will announce the winner on the next week's Chiefs Pour. That's pretty easy. I hope you enjoyed this first review, the Chiefs Pour. One bottle, one glass, my take. Good luck on the giveaway. Until the next pour, make sure you take the ride. Cheers.
I hope you enjoyed the Chiefs Pour. Thanks to Unreined for sharing their whiskey. Cheers.